Hello and
That's when
welcome
you
to
know you're
Race
doing
8
good.
in the
When you've got
RekLes Racing
a
League.
steady
This will be the final
pace.
race of Season 1, unless for some reason we have to hold a tiebreaker race to decide who the champion is.
Yeah, and
We
see,
have a nice
if you look at
strong field
Cameron's
today,
pace,
so
he's
sit
a
back and enjoy the
50.2,
action. This will be a
50.4,
12-lap race around
50.3,
Wild West Motorsports
50.4,
Park. We'll hold a
50.5.
competition caution at the
You gotta
halfway
get
point of the race to
50
regroup the
flat
field.
to compete with him.
Once again, Cameron Peterson leads
Well,
us to
that's
the
just the
line
level he's at
alongside
right
Bodie
now.
Cryer,
I mean,
Jeremy
everybody
Sodorf in
probably
third
catch up
place,
eventually.
William Booth in fourth,
I think
and
he found
Scott M.
something in
Ford to round
either
off the
his setup
five-car
of the
field.
track or how he launches, whatever. Either way, Cameron, that
Into turn one, Jeremy dives to the inside, is able to hold on to the number 3 spot as everyone's out of turn one nice and clean.
I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just saying, talking the entire league as far as 37,000 other drivers. You have confidence somehow.
All 5 up the back straight is Scott Ford's explaining that out of 37,000 drivers, you are now watching the fastest.
Setting your race setup over. I have the qualifier, but I can't do nothing with that. I put fuel in it and I change it. I gotta change the ride height. But, the race pace is definitely the key.
Cameron Peterson holds on to the lead coming into turn one for the second time. Nice tight group. As William Booth looks to the inside of Jeremy Sodorf. Jeremy's able to hold on to the position coming into turn two. William and Jeremy have had a lot of great battles this year. Generally with Jeremy in front trying to keep William behind him. Not an easy task considering that Booth has proven to be a faster and more consistent driver. Not to mention the current season points leader after Cameron Peterson had a 4th place finish in our oval race. Gave Booth a bit of a points advantage to catch up. Looks like Jeremy bounces wide out in the loam on turn 4. We'll see if that's enough to get Booth a run down the front straight.
Yeah, I've been wafting my underdrive too as well. In practice, I changed mine.
Scott Ford discussing the difficulties of setting up these cars for the changing track conditions. It's a common theme for the cars to be very fast in practice and qualifying, but to fall off a half a second or more under race conditions. Not sure if that's a psychological disadvantage or a mechanical, as to they do water the track before the race.
I went from a 31 to a 34 because you were running Bodie's setup on you were running 31. I found that I was bogging on 34 and I kept bogging again.
Bodie Cryer keeping Cameron Peterson within reach as we turn lap number 4. Bodie was a late entry in our season, so not a contender in the points, but has shown a lot of real strength as a racer, and I'm sure in season 2 you'll see him up in the top for sure. Booth dives to the inside of Jeremy as they go side by side. Jeremy gets a little run on him coming into turn 2. He'll dive to the inside to try to protect as Booth waits for his opportunity to pounce. William dives back to the inside, but Jeremy's able to check up and hold the inside line, just enough to kill his momentum as we go up the back straight. William and Jeremy had a similar battle in the last race at Wild West, and right there was how Booth made the pass as he dives to the inside of turn 4 and Jeremy bounces wide. We'll see if he can hang on to it. Getting a fast run around the outside, they go side by side down the front straight. Looks like Jeremy has a little bit of speed advantage on him.
I almost had it when I first started.
William, being out of the racing line, will have to check up a little early as Jeremy slingshots around the outside to make room. They'll go side by side once again coming into turn 2. Looks like Jeremy has a little speed advantage on him. We'll see if he can check up and hold the inside. He drifts a little wide as William looks underneath, but now Jeremy has the inside coming into turn 3. William gives him a little tap saying, "I'm tired of following you, I'd like to get around you if I can," because if William's able to make this pass on Jeremy, he will lock up the win for the season points.
I normally will run my fastest lap ever, like, right when it comes out. So right whenever I join the session, my second lap will be the fastest lap I do. I don't know why it's that way, but
Bodie Cryer explaining that normally his first lap is his fastest lap, and that tends to be the same for a lot of drivers, and it has possibly something to do with track conditions, not to mention having a fresh car. These cars do deteriorate quite quickly, especially on this track, as they experience a lot of impact and high RPMs. Engine heat, tire wear, and shock fatigue are critical factors. Bodie's keeping Cameron within his sights. It's good to see someone's finally applying a little pressure to him and keeping him honest, because in most races Cameron checks out by 100 yards or so and just goes for a Sunday drive waiting for the checkered flag. Cameron Peterson is currently in second place in the points, even though he has qualified on the pole in almost every race this year and has a handful of wins so far. We've reached the halfway point of the race and the caution is now out, so we'll take a lap and group everybody back up.
I don't understand either. I'll do 15 laps in the low 51s and even some 50s. When I get in the race, I go slower. I don't understand it. There's some moisture level in the track. No, but even if they glue the track, if they watered it, whatever, this is clay, or consistency of clay, or what it should be. But I've run clay on in real life, oval clay, and go-karting, and midgets. And the consistency here, you know, you can see when the track is going to be fast. When you go out of the pit lane, you can see what it's going to be. Here, I don't think I'm seeing what I need to see.
We got the caution laps out of the way and we're about to go green. Current running orders: Cameron Peterson, Bodie Cryer, Jeremy Sodorf, William Booth, and Scott Ford. Cameron gets a good launch, giving enough room to take a fast line into turn 1. William Booth having to let off a little bit to stay out of Jeremy.
Best Buy was telling me that they've been getting a lot of them back because they've been having problems with it, and I'm wondering if they just got a bad batch. And I happened to get one and had a bad USB, and how we should be working.
William looking to the inside as Jeremy widens out his truck just enough to keep him back there for one more lap. Cameron Peterson has a nice comfortable lead with Bodie Cryer right behind him. Jeremy's just a little bit off the pace with these guys. Hopefully in Season 2 he'll be able to find a little bit of a speed advantage to get back up to the front of the pack. As we're currently talking about in the race chatter, the importance of your monitor's refresh rates. Jeremy's running a monitor with a 60 hertz, and that's generally enough to slow drivers down up to half a second, whereas 144 or 160 hertz would be more appropriate for this kind of racing. They also discuss the benefits of using VR, and it appears that all of our top drivers are using some kind of VR setup, whether it's the Oculus or an alternative.
I'm going to get a face full of mud if I don't take the face to you guys. Nobody's slower than me at a U5, so I'm stuck in the back.
No, good race.
Here we come through turn 4 for the last time. Cameron Peterson out front, Bodie Cryer in second place, Jeremy in third for the first time ever, holding off William Booth, giving Cameron Peterson just enough points gap to tie him for first place. And so it looks like we will have a tiebreaker race. Hopefully we can host that race today. It'll be 25 laps around Wild Horse Pass. Not only will this be an opportunity to settle the tie for first place, but for someone to make up some ground on any other close points battles. Well, this concludes race 8, and thanks everybody for watching. And special thanks to all the competitors for joining and helping us to push this sport to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you at Wild Horse.